Hi, inner landscape friends. This is a reading for the rest of this week, which is the week of June 11th. So this reading will be from today, which is Wednesday, through Sunday, the end of the week. So first of all, blessings to you all. And we'll go ahead and get started and see what God, your divine team, and all of your spiritual helpers would like you to know for what's in store for this week, what messages they have for you. So let's get started. And by the way, just to let you know, I do not read reverse cards. Okay, so let's see. And also, just to, as a heads up, while I'm pulling cards and shuffling, I'm concentrating on my connection with the Creator, as well as while I'm laying down the cards. So I know some readers actually will have a little chat with you while they're doing that, but my concentration is fully on the connection and the question that or we have for the Creator. So just be aware, I won't be chatting with you guys when I'm pulling cards or shuffling or asking the question for the session. So let's get going. So what I asked was, what does our Creator, our guides, our heavenly team have in store or want us to know for the rest of this week? And the card is detach from drama. While this is self-explanatory, they would really like you to realize the jewel, the healing that comes from recognizing and discerning drama for exactly what it is, and consciously choosing to pull away from it, to move away from it. That there is a not so hidden jewel in that, in discovering when drama is heading your way, or when you're in the middle of it, and understanding that the best thing, the jewel, lies not within trying to win the battle at hand or engage in it, but to absolutely turn the other way, pull away, and basically to keep your jewel, because that's honestly, the only reason drama comes about, any kind of unhealthy interactions come about, is because what's at the center of that drama is looking for that jewel that it doesn't have, that you or whoever else that's being pulled into the drama does actually possess. And what you're being asked to do here is to recognize that and keep your fortune. Don't give it away. Don't give away your jewel, which is it's another way of saying don't give away your peace. Don't give away your prize or your treasure, because that's exactly what drama and anyone that, is immersed in that is looking for, whether they consciously understand that or not. They don't have recognition of their own jewel because they're too worked up and unhealthy energy to realize where their own jewel lies. So that's the crux of this situation. Now, the next card talks about giving and receiving. And this is actually saying that exactly what I was mentioning before, as far as whenever drama comes about, unhealthy energies come about, it's because that energy and whoever or whatever is bringing that that frantic, chaotic energy, unhealthy energy, it's because they're off balance and they're looking to regain balance through any means necessary, whether it's through healthy means or otherwise. They're just looking to knock everything else off kilter, in their path of trying to, or on their journey to find, regain their peace and their balance. So what they're looking to do is to throw you off or gain your peace. Now, whether that works or not is entirely up to you. And oftentimes, unfortunately, it does work. But it's just wants you to be very mindful. Sit in your own foundation. Cover your own jewel by walking away, turning away from any drama. And by drama, all that's meant is situations that are chaotic, that you have no real say-so in, that pull you out of your own alignment, that's stirring up trouble, that just serves no one any good. So with this card, you're being asked to sit on your own foundation. Don't look to others and the stories they bring and the energies they bring. Nothing that they can bring will seat you on your own throne of power, is basically the moral of this narrative God wants to bring to you for the rest of this week, because energies are in upheaval right now. But that does not mean you have to give up your own peace. You can sit in your own stable or on your own stable foundation and protect that. You don't have to give away. There's no balance in giving away your peace and your serenity, your jewel, which are your jewels, and which in your jewel is actually your power. So there's no balance when you do that, when you decide to engage in this drama, in any uncentered, unbalanced energy. There's never any reason to come off of your own foundation to try to work out on chaotic energies. That only throws you off of your own stability. And it's understandable with this next card, Akasha. It's understandable because the reason most people do decide to engage or allow themselves to become off kilter, knocked off of their own stable foundation, and engage in these chaotic energies is because they want to understand. They're looking for and digging for information. But what this is saying, what the Creator wants us to know, is that there's nothing wrong with that, with wanting to understand, wanting to get to the crux and root of matter. This is not the way, is what this is saying. It's not the way to do that. It'll only cause your own drama, is what this is clearly saying. Then what Source wants you to know, the best thing you have going for you in this type of situation is to release and surrender. Just give it to God. Recognize the situation for what it is. Discern it for what it is. Don't try to pretty it up or sugarcoat it or give it the benefit of the doubt. Recognize it, discern it, and then turn it over to God. Just release. That's a skill we all have in our toolbox, and God wants us to remember that and recognize that when these situations come up. That's one of our greatest assets. And what our challenge is for most of us, and why these situations do sometimes come up for us or to us to engage our energies, is because we're not letting go of certain things. And, like is attracted to like. So this requires, on our part, a good inventory of our selves, which sometimes requires us delving into things that we just have been holding on to and are not yet willing to let go of. Whenever that's the case, trust. Drama will find you one way or another. So the first step is to recognize, as I mentioned in the beginning, recognize that it is drama and what it's there for, what it's there to tell you, what it wants from you. The second thing is to recognize, after you recognize it, is to turn it over to God. But then, in order to keep in the future from having this scenario represent itself to you, you'll need to do a little soul searching and find out the things that you actually need to let go of that have you, I guess, in a pattern of having to deal with drama. What is it that you, within yourself, that you need to let go of? What situations still really haunt you or bother you that you could actually go ahead and give up, release and let go of, so that you'll be free of this drama cycle. Because when you've let things go properly, this can't find you. It can't even see you. So letting go of what still ails you is part of our challenge this week, and that's why it's coming up. So it's something to really keep in mind when these things, if these things do come up. So then what this situation does have to offer you is pretty much what I've mentioned prior. It's a more than a lesson or something to just teach you, but it's for, which it is both of those things, but it's more for your understanding of how life works. It wants to show you for your own understanding of the role you play in your own life. So for all intents and purposes, it is a lesson. It's a teaching moment when these type of situations, unpleasant situations, chaotic situations, and energies come up. It's to get your attention, and it's only trying to get your attention to help you understand why it's there and what you can do about it. Now, this is the advice from our heavenly team. And what this is telling us is that it is always a choice. Always. And in truth, the real anguish, if there is a need to be had at all, is within making the decision. To engage, to not engage. To let go, to not let go. So what God is advising us and guiding us to do is to just choose. Choose to keep your own peace. Choose to guard your jewel, your own power, your own seat in your life. You are the one with the front row tickets, so decide to own them. Decide to use them. Decide to take up that seat and keep your own balance in your life, because you're the one that's in charge of that. And God can only help you when you decide that's what you want to do and that you want help, because this is the signal to God that you want help with this situation, that you want to work with him or her, work with the Creator in co-creating a positive experience instead of a dramatic experience, that you want help in co-creating your own front row ticket or sitting in your front row seat to your life. When you let go and let God, you turn things over that you know no longer serve you. This is a signal to God saying, I would like help. I ask for your help in turning this scenario that I'm faced with into the best possible outcome for me and for all involved. So that's the advice. Now, your greatest strength that you already possess in this scenario is to open your heart to love. And this is the energy of this card is Jesus. So your greatest strength is to know how to love. And loving, and this is even in the unconditional sense, the true sense of love. Loving is not allowing yourself to be thrown willy-nilly or handled any kind of way or treated any kind of way. It's loving yourself enough to not be dragged in and taken off of your own seat of power, to not let your jewel be taken from you, as well as loving the others involved in the situation enough to say, I'm not going to let you bring this energy into my space, because this is not where you're going to find your jewel. And I know that regardless of whether you know that or not. So I'm kindly saying no and walking away, leaving them the loving opportunity, if they choose, because they do have to choose it, leaving them the loving opportunity to find their own jewel instead of looking for it outside of themselves. So that is your strongest asset and tool in this situation. Okay. This final card, the outcome, is Isabella, and I don't know if you can see this, but I'll read it to you. It says, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. And this is just God's way of saying that if you follow the advice of what has been given here, especially the advice card, which is to choose, and hopefully choose well, choose beneficially for yourself. This is the outcome for your week. A positive, happy outcome, drama-free. And just in case it's not clear, this is the outcome anytime you decide to choose to just say no to drama, to keep your own balance, and go about finding your peace and remaining invisible to the drama by going within yourself and finding out what it is you need to clear out and let go of and turn over to God so He can give this back to you, your happy outcome. Okay, so that is this week's reading, my friends. I wish you all many blessings, and I will talk with you all soon. Take care.